Aaron and Katie were first-time parents. During the pregnancy, a prenatal exam revealed their baby girl's brain was not developing as expected.
It was a very heavy day. I think it was at that point we realized that we were in for a very different life experience than what we fully anticipated.
Franny was born with genetic changes that will affect her whole life, including decreased muscle tone, impacting her gross and fine motor movement. At age 2, Aaron and Katie found the Rise School of Austin. When she arrived, she could barely speak 20 words and a handful of signs. Soon after, Franny was also diagnosed with severe hearing loss. But Rise's teachers and therapists rallied around them. Franny received hearing aids, and Rise's multi-dimensional teaching model and unique therapies dramatically helped Franny. After 3 years at Rise, Franny has made great strides. Franny is resilient, always has a smile on her face. She loves to help others, unselfishly helping her brother, her friends, her teachers. That desire to put others first will make her quite the standout in the future.
The teenage years, they're tough. Peer pressure, need for acceptance, influences from every angle, both good and bad. Angelise is a high school junior. She's one of 9 people living in tight quarters. She's being raised by a single mother who, despite being physically and mentally abused herself, is determined to raise her kids the right way. Like many teens, Angelise has dealt with her share of struggles. Lack of confidence, depression, avoiding interaction with people, even in her own family. But, inspired by JKL instructor Mr. Tharps, Angelise found her way to just keep living. In Angelise's own words, if it wasn't for JKL, she would just be at home sleeping, sitting around, doing nothing. But once she felt the welcoming energy, experienced the peer-to-peer support, and had some healthy good times, Angelise was all in. She immersed herself in the JKL program and found great motivation through giving back to her community. She learned about nutrition and improved her mental and physical health. She found a sense of acceptance and camaraderie that she had never experienced before. And she gained an understanding of the true importance of gratitude. At JKL, Angelise found her own voice and confidence.
At first she was kind of shy, kind of standoffish, but now she's very involved, engaged. She comes to school every day with a positive attitude, a smile, and she's also a great student in the classroom. I think it's just given her a different outlook on life.
Angelise, we are proud of what you've achieved so far. Despite the obstacles, you have become a leader in your own family, and you become a great example for your own friends to follow. We look forward to seeing you get to where you're going. In the meantime and all times, Angelise, just keep living.
1, 2, 3, JKL! Yeah.
Julia was a 4-year-old living in the Philippines. Her mother, Dan, knew her daughter wasn't well. Chronic illness, constantly sleeping, and unable to participate in age-appropriate activities. Julia was diagnosed with a birth defect of the heart and urgently needed surgery. With poor health care in the Philippines, Dan tirelessly fought to save her daughter's life.
Though I was so sad and very desperate, I applied to more than 70 foundations.
Heart Gift brought Julia to the U.S. and she received life-saving open heart surgery at no cost to her family. Today, Julia is a thriving 16-year-old attending school, singing and performing in plays and musicals, living out her hopes and dreams. Heart Gift has provided hundreds of life-saving heart surgeries around the world. Last year alone, Heart Gift provided heart surgeries to 200 children and plans to care for twice as many children this year. What if you can help save more lives like Julia?
Thank you so much, Heart Gift, from the bottom of my heart for saving my daughter's life.
Thank you so much, MJ&M, for saving me and for giving me another life. I'll always be grateful, and I owe my life to Heart Gift.
5-year-old Penn began to have difficulty walking due to abdominal pain. Days later, he was diagnosed with high-risk leukemia and was admitted to Dell Children's Pediatric Intensive Care Unit to receive multiple blood and platelet transfusions. But that was just the beginning.
Penn had 2.5 years of treatment, 130 nights in the hospital, 75 clinic appointments, 30 blood transfusions, 3,000 pills, 4 bone marrow biopsies, 30 times under anesthesia, over 100 doses of chemo, and 1,350 chemo pills.
Making things worse, all of this was during COVID, where Penn and his mom or dad were sequestered in a hospital room. A lonely place at a terrible time. Penn was cared for by a remarkable team of nurses, doctors, and therapists. It was Dell Children's art therapist, Elizabeth, who made Penn's days and nights brighter, spending countless hours drawing and painting and creating all kinds of art. His art reflected his sadness, his loneliness, and his happiness. What if there was no Elizabeth or Dell Children's? Today, thanks to the Dell team, Penn is a happy, vibrant 8-year-old. He still goes for monthly wellness checks, and his art is thriving. His many drawings and illustrations tell stories, and his portraits of others, well, they're inspiring.
What does Jack look like he does?
He looks like he would be the actor, and
Matthew.
he looks like he would be the singer.
And what do you think Mack looks like?
President.
President?
While most families consider the birth of a second child one of the greatest times of their life, for Zachary and Nicole, it was one of the darkest. They received news that their 3-year-old son, Thomas, was diagnosed with Duchenne, the most severe form of muscular dystrophy. As Thomas grew, his muscles would lose strength every day, and eventually his heart and lungs would fail.
By the time that he's 20 years old, he's going to be in a wheelchair. He may not even pass his 20th birthday.
20 years ago, families receiving a Duchenne diagnosis were told, go home and love your child. But Thomas's doctor offered hope. He qualified for a new gene therapy clinical trial focused on delaying the progression of the disease. For 20 years, Cure Duchenne has been working tirelessly to find a cure for this fatal disease. And thanks to you, clinical trials are moving forward faster and progress is being made. But we're far from done. Out of the 300,000 people living with Duchenne, most don't have options for trials and treatments. The only way to provide cures for all boys and all ages is through funding research. What if our support for Cure Duchenne leads to longer lives? What if we are part of the cure?
Julia, Angeles, Franny, Penn, and Thomas. They all have hopes and dreams.
And we're dreaming with them.
We're dreaming big. We've done a lot, but we're not done yet.